Welcome to Healthy Food Place. I am Grace Enemali, sharing ideas and recipes on how to stay healthy naturally. Reversing a cough is one of the easiest ailments to handle if only you know the cause of that cough. Now, some coughs are just simple and mild triggers, maybe as a result of cold or some irritants, maybe foods that irritated your throat. Some coughs are also long-standing. So there are different types of cough. Some are even aggravated by bacteria, and in such case, they will become resident along the lungs and becomes like a habit that you keep coughing wherever you go. And so whichever one that you think you are suffering or you want to avoid, because prevention is always better than cure. Now, it is important to understand the kind of cough and where that cough started. Because if you don't know where and when it started, you may not really be able to trace how to stop it. Now, some cough also may be triggered by just drinking cold water, ice water. I have had to assist a woman who came for counseling that she had cough, and that cough was triggered by just drinking of very cold water. This is a woman who is over 60 years. And what was the remedy? I simply told her to start on garlic. Though she had been using garlic to cook, but cooking with garlic is different from chewing garlic. She started it and a few other changes in her diet, which she started, and within a few days, that cough that had lasted for 1 year, over 1 year, disappeared. And so you don't have to ignore any cough. In this very video, I want to highlight a few things that can make cough worse after you may have experienced the first trigger, and then the best home remedies. And that is to say, the best foods that can send cough away. Don't be in a hurry for those foods, because knowing the cause of that disease is even more important to me than the cure. Because until you discover the cause of it, the cure may not be too long before it disappears, or it may not even give you results. Number one trigger is things like cold water, like you heard, or some other cold environment, some other irritant. Sometimes too much of peanuts. When you take inflammation-causing foods too much, the inflammation begins to rise up and sometimes begin to push on your throat, and you start to cough. And then so at other times, it may be low, very low antioxidant in the body. Now, some of you are joking with antioxidants. The main antioxidants are the vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, and a few other ones. But if you ignore the antioxidants and continue to consume your high-carb foods, processed foods, high-sugary foods, carbonated drinks, fried foods, you will be a victim to, cough will frequently visit you. And if you want to stay away and be free like myself for many years, then you need to avoid all of these foods. Stay away from fried foods and all these irritants, and even foods like caffeine. Now, if you are a lover of caffeinated teas, like black teas, green teas, the minute you suspect a cough, you have to stay away from caffeinated teas, because it won't help you to keep your body well hydrated. Rather, it will reduce the fluid in your body, predisposing you to even more trigger to cough. Now, if you have avoided all this and you observe that your own cough has lingered for a long time, you need to also stay away from foods like peanuts. Reduce them, because they can, backlog of peanuts, too much peanut can also cause a trigger that continues for a long time. This is something I've also handled in a couple of years, helping someone who also was a victim of too much peanut, not knowing that it was the cause, and several other foods like that. But here are top foods, not home remedy, because some of you are always in a hurry to make a concoction. Now, but these are food that can effectively help you. Honey is one of them. If you can get a good one, you can pair it with ginger. You can also pair it with garlic. But if the cough is long-standing, my dear, the best remedy is to pair that honey with the bitter kola. Bitter kola is very, very strong when it comes to long-standing cough. A cough that have resisted ginger, cough that have resisted garlic. And then another food that helps with cough is the guava leaf tea. This is something I personally have tried on myself. If I suspect any minute trigger, because of its bacteria killing effect, because of its sugar reducing anti-inflammatory effect, and then it's also able to support your liver and your kidney to function. Most of such foods are great in boosting your immunity. And when you notice that you are coughing frequently, it may also be an obvious sign of a suppressed immunity. And in that case also, you need to take immune boosting foods like that. And one of the things you need to do, if you suspect you are frequently coughing, you need to also review this your carbohydrates consumption. Now, if you are consuming too much of high calorie carbohydrates and your body does not see protein to work, remember that protein is the building block, and you do not also include fluids to help, because when you are coughing, now some people, when they are trying to ward off a cough, they continue to consume food with roughage. Now, if you have that trigger already and you want it to go naturally, you have to reduce those food, all those food that comes with roughage. As much as possible, let it be fluid so that your body can use it immediately without having to digest and do other processing. And so you need to get a good honey. If you use the ginger and honey or ginger and garlic and it doesn't go away, then you go for the one that I said, the bitter kola. It's going to send it off. But if you also want to keep acidity away, you want to reduce the risk, inflammations, yeast infection, and other things that can even trigger it without your knowing, you need to also include spices like the cloves. Yes, it's one of the things that works for me. Anytime I suspect any unusual cluster around the chest, sometimes it starts like a cluster. Maybe you've taken something, usually as a result of what you have eaten. Yes, maybe excess body acidity. Cloves can resolve it. And with cloves alone, it can go away. Yes, even lemon juice in warm water can prevent a cough. But are you aware that too much lemon juice and even vitamin C rich foods without sufficient nutrients in the body can also work as an irritant? Yes, you heard me. So take the lemon juice in warm water to avert a cough and not to cure an existing cough. That's exactly what a good number of you are doing. Yes, prevention is better than cure. And so these are some of the things you need to do. You can have some of them at home as your remedies, but do not also allow that cough to stay for too long. There are several other remedies, even your kitchen spice like cinnamon and onions. They are great when it comes to cough. There are 1001 remedies. But remember, moderation is our rule.